Hello everyone, welcome back to Changfied YouTube channel, your trusted source for latest subjects across South Sudan and beyond. Today we bring you a very serious and painful story coming from South Sudan. At least 17 people have lost their life in Mundri East County after violent clashes between farmers and cattle herders. But that is not all. More attacks are being reported in different areas. Homes are burned, families are running for safety, and fear is growing every day. So what is really happening in Western Equatorial State? Why are civilians being targeted? And what is the government doing about it? Stay with us as we break everything down. Before we begin with this latest report, I would like you to help the channel by subscribing, turn on the notification bell, so whenever we upload a new video, you can be notified. Let's begin our report with what happened in Mundri East. This tragic incident happened on Monday, March 16, 2026, in a place called Mengapayam, located in Mundri East County. What it started as tension between farmers and cattle herders quickly turned into deadly violence. According to local sources, at least 17 people were killed. But the situation did not stop there. Even after the first attack, fighting continued in some areas. People say the situation is still very dangerous and not fully under control. Many families had no choice but to run away from their home. Because of the violence, many residents being displaced. Families from Kadiba ran to Lui for safety. Others from Lakamadi escaped to Mundri West. Imagine leaving your home suddenly with no food, no shelter, and no protection. Houses have been destroyed, people have been beaten, livestock which many families depend on has been stolen. Women, children, and elderly people are now suffering the most. They are left outside without basic need. Let's look at what the community leader said. Community leaders speak out. Local leaders are now raising their voices. One of them explained that the situation is very serious. She said people are suffering and many have lost everything. She also warned that this violence is affecting farming activities, and this is very dangerous because farming is the main way people survive in this area. If people cannot farm, then anger will become the next crisis. Another local leader said the community is in deep pain. People are living in fear. They want peace, they want security, and most importantly, they want a government that listens to them. Let's look at government response. The governor of Western Equatorial State has spoken about the situation. He strongly condemned the killing. He said the violence is unacceptable and must stop. Security forces have now been deployed to the affected areas. Their job is to control the situation and protect civilians. The governor also promised to personally visit the affected communities. He wants to see the situation with his own eyes and find a realistic solution. In addition, the state government is working with neighboring Central Equatorial State. This is important because some of the herders are believed to come from that region. The goal is to improve cooperation and stop further violence. The governor also gave a strong message to the people. He warned it against tribal division. He said communities must live together in peace. He shared a vision of a state where everyone feels safe, a place where people can move freely without fear. But right now, that vision is still far from reality. Let's move on to new attack and rising violence. While dealing with the clashes in Mundri East, where 17 people lost their life, another serious issue is happening. The state government is now accusing army group of carrying out attack on civilians. These attacks have been targeting villages, roads, and even security forces. Some homes and markets have been burned. In one area close to Yambu, elderly people were killed during an attack. Other areas have also reported looting and destruction. Even travelers are not safe. Road ambushes are increasing, especially in Mundri East and Mundri West. Women, children, and elderly people are among the victims. It is not only civilians who are affected. Government forces have also been attacked. Some security convoys were ambushed while moving to other areas. Reconnaissance teams were attacked more than once in a single day. This shows that the situation is very serious and organized. Authorities have also reported movement of army groups near border areas. This has raised more concern. Officials say these are not normal civilians. They believe more attack could happen if action is not taken quickly by the government. Despite all this, the government is calling for peace. They are asking all army groups to stop the violence immediately. There is a small positive sign. Some fighters are leaving army group and joining government forces. According to the report from the government, they say this could help bring stability in the future, but for now, the situation remains tense. So, what can we learn from all this? People are suffering. Lives have been lost. Families are displaced. And fear is everywhere. The people of Western Equatoria want peace. They want to farm. They want to live normal life. But without security, none of that is possible. The big question now is, will the government act fast enough to stop the violence, or will the situation get worse? The growing call from the people. Across the country, many people are speaking out. They are asking the government to stop a military attack, especially against position linked to the SPLA-IO. These citizens believe that continued fighting will only bring more suffering. Many families have already been affected by conflict. People are tired of war. They want peace, stability, and a chance to live normal life. Some community leaders say that attacking opposition force only increase tension and make peace harder to achieve. Others said dialogue is the only solution. Instead of fighting, they want leaders to sit down and talk. Another major issue is the detention of Dr. Riek Machar, the SPLA-IO leader. Many South Sudanese believe that keeping him detained is not helping the situation. They argue that his release could reduce tension and open the door for dialogue. Supporters say Dr. Machar is an important political figure. They believe peace talk cannot move forward without him. Because of this, call for his release are increasing every day. It is not only people inside the country who are speaking. The international community is also raising concern. Some international partners are calling on the government to take a step toward peace. They are urging leaders to reduce violence and create a peaceful environment. One of their key messages is clear: release Dr. Riek Machar and follow and allow political dialogue to continue. They believe this could help calm the situation and prevent further conflict. The government has responded to this call. Officials say their actions are based on security concerns. They argue that any military operation are meant to protect civilians and maintain stability. Regarding Dr. Riek Machar, the government has not clearly confirmed when or if he will be released. Some officials suggest that legal and security process must be followed. They also say peace is still their goal, but it must come with order and control. The government insists that it is committed to stability even as pressure continues to grow. Right now, South Sudan is at a very important moment. On one side, people are calling for peace and dialogue. On the other side, the government said it must focus on security. The big question is, can both sides find a middle ground? Because without compromise, the risk of more conflict remains high. Well, what is clear is this: people are tired of war. They want peace, unity, and a better future. The call for release Dr. Machar and stop attack are growing louder. Now, all eyes are on the government and opposition leader, will they choose peace or will tension continue?